To continue on project 9 on lesson 3, we're now going to put more form objects into our form, and on purpose I did this. You're supposed to leave 3 blank cells or rows for your table. I only left 2 because I wanted to demonstrate how to add an extra one. I need to add an extra row, and the easiest way to do that is if you click in one of your cells, go to Insert Table Object. You can put row below or row above. Another way to do this is right click your mouse and go to Table, Insert Row or Column, and I'm going to insert a row below the selection, and that adds an extra row in there. Okay, if you'd done it correctly the way the book said, you would have been okay. Now all they want us to do is add first name to this leftmost cell, and then we're going to add what's called a text field, which lets somebody type in items, and we're going to give the ID first underscore name. Don't put spaces in there because that'll cause some problems. They want this to be no label. Hit OK. Now at the bottom, we want the character the character width to be 40, and this means you can have a name up to 40 characters. I'm sorry, it's going to display 40 characters, but we'll have a maximum of 100 characters. So if somebody has a first name of 100 characters, I can't think of any names that have that, but they allow that. So I'm going to do the same idea here for last name. Text field, last underscore name. And same properties here. The character width will be 40 and the max will be 100. And then the third one is email. Email. Same, max 140. And notice that when you identify the name, it puts it down here in the properties, which you can change if you need to. So I have those 3 text fields put together. Happy with that. Now the next thing they want us to do is come down to comments, and we're going to jump down here. And before we do that, they want us to do one other thing as far as formatting. They want us to click anywhere in the table. In the bottom bar here, click on Table, and that highlights your entire table. And then they want us to go to Class and choose Body Text, and that formats the items this way. And something else I think I forgot, I'll take care of it now, is the table should be centered. It looks much better. So got everything taken care of in that regard. Okay, back to the items for our form. I'm going to click in the cell to the right of the comments, and they want us to add what's called a text area, which allows you to type more than just one line of text. You can add multiple lines, and they want this to be called comments, because this will correspond as if somebody would want to type in comments. And the properties down here, the width is going to be 50. Notice this is set as multi-line, which means you can have more than one line, and they want the number of lines to be set to be 4. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Okay, moving on to other items. Up here in the row it says I'm interested in information about. They want us to put in what's known as a checkbox. Now, a checkbox means you can check one, both, or neither of the items. So in our forms items over here, I'm going to hit checkbox, and the first one we're going to put is the ID is going to be fishing. And notice I've been keeping these all lowercase. The label is going to be uppercase because this will be what's displayed on the screen, and uppercase is nice. They want us to put wrap with label tag right there, and have this set to after, and that puts checkbox where somebody could check that, and if they want to do fishing. I'm going to do the same idea, another checkbox. This one's going to be for cruises. The label is going to be uppercase. Keep this wrapping with label, good, and that is what that will allow. It means somebody could choose either cruises or fishing, neither, or one of either one of them. That's the way checkboxes work. Kind of the counterpart to checkboxes is what's called a radio group or radio buttons. And for the item here, I would like to receive your newsletter, I'm going to use a radio group, and this will be called newsletter for the ID. Again, all lowercase. And what we're going to put here is a yes, and a no. And what makes radio groups different from checkboxes is radio group you only have one or the other. So you can't obviously select the yes or no. You want the newsletter, or you do not want the newsletter. And I'm going to set this in this order. Now this screen lets you actually move some things around if you need to. You can use the up and down arrows to change position. You can add more radio buttons here if you'd want yes, no, or maybe. But for the way this project's set up is they just have yes or no. And see how this places us there? This means this might can place a yes or no. And notice radio buttons are round where checkboxes are squared. Okay, the next item we're going to do is we're going to add a menu where it says I learned about you from. And actually the menu is under the select item. And we're going to name the select reference as where it came from. And this may look a little different excuse me, than what we have in the book right now, but it will change. This is what the menu looks like. Now when you click on it, in the properties down here at the bottom, you have to hit the list values button, and this lets you add what values. And I'm on page 927 now, where we heard about them from a friend. And the left part is the label. The right part is what will be returned via email or however your form actually works. So I'm hitting plus to do a new one. The third one is magazine ad. I'm assuming we have a magazine ad if we're doing this. Just magazine is our value, and television ad, and then TV. I'll hit OK. Now down here in the bottom, we're not going to do this, but you can actually choose one of these to be the initial item searched. So if you want to force them to see one item initially, that will be there. Now the way it will appear will be, it'll say search from list when you actually run this. Unless you choose one of these to be the default initial selected, which in this case is not a good idea. Okay, next thing we're going to add is I'm going to go before the name first name, and I'm going to add what's called a hidden field. And what a hidden field is in this case it's going to require items to be entered. And the values, we have to put the name of our text boxes or text fields, which make sure you do them exactly. So if they don't put something in for first name, underscore name, last underscore name, or email, this required field will be triggered. Alright, and then notice when I added that extra row, I have an extra row at the bottom. To get rid of that, I'm just going to highlight, hit my delete key on my keyboard to delete it. I could also right click and delete a row that way, but I need these last two rows. Last two items I'm going to add here is what's called a button. I'm going to add a button, and the first button is going to be submit, and it automatically puts the word submit there. And I'm going to add another button. I'm going to call this reset, and it will look strangely similar because both say submit, but down here on the properties you can change this to be a reset button. That will clear the fields from all the form items as needed. And then down here in the bottom left hand corner, to finish this off, they want us to put an asterisk and required field, and then up here place these asterisks beside the three that are required. That way somebody sees this form, they know that they have to enter those items.